Well, we're back. Edo Bibiasi. Ebriasi say Adom Mpensenpensenmu ebro. Yebeda DBS ejumekona se kwanson koso so waso say emphasize komoi embro. Just forgive some of us. Okay. What you say? Simon Kempi. What you say? Ibiaboko.
Oh my.
This is from our region, Brunga Hafu. Yeah, and Ghana this year by Kwaya provided. And this sad terribleness. Sami is a young boy, so she really knows about on a rap tea and a sensitive foundation for no Reggie Nikki with the Nana Cass, Mone Melvina, Moshian for no. Calm down. Let me say, what's the time, babe?
So I'm sorry, I'm not passing. Me could direct see me who about Ujumedia na who on WhatsApp platforms and Facebook. The me who dream here because apart from politics, in our quiet times, we enjoy music. I'm a lover of music, and clearly, this was a very talented young lady, but full of talent. Impenyu for nkoda imabunu nyina penenyom timetesa na ya dia mamere hu hie pa. I was hoping and wishing say enya no kre ebeye one of such pranks that people pull on us. But I'm say they told Joy FM, they told other media stations, it was confirmed say ampa ndi o mai ayare ho sempa aboyi nyina yepusa the ebetimi aka ne say Yamabusian for Yako.
Okay.
Na yasro mo se onyankopon be chichire omore wo madepa omahwere no. Na yasre nyame se ode yenuaba no ekra besieye. Nti kakra mitimi.
Okay, so probably at the tail end of the program, we must come back because I made this come away on Ebony. Biasa conscience here, and I'm even surprised. Say highways for you know need to because I am a better on they be at the mutual say and then Nassim.
Yeah.
So what I say. They be at mutual say this I'm not we
I think of late Grandpa to say because around that same area VIPB any accident. So what are we doing?
VIP and now pay them can say probably and just a problem. Man and kasa yari timamu phone so yari and ya boa ma bibia aginsem ne ye hwe han you know and they will be a bonus who buy instance here by Guinea, Ghana. So, until a bassia, the end crown, I do be a Yankasi, Macano, Yankasi and G, in commission to me, Yankasi and G, Yamian Quantin to name a bassia, Nani Pebinimusu commenting here, we near Castle, Buina, we a bay for a question in Fioca. Most of the deaths I had to very avoidable and preventable.
Yeah. Those are I agree with you. Nyame ahobambo a key. It is primary, very important. Okay. But however, no, yes, so nipum affirm the was say yeah. Na they improve your systems. They improve your kwan. The boss anyama we. This is anyama we. Ho kwan. I was say a boy.
Okay, me that's it. Mama yakuna do nyame. Ana fe Madam Selina nyame. Good morning. Linda actually forcing your chairman. After she was here. Baby now about so you wishing a well. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, so quick. It's good saying the more about Exton Cubic PRO, communications director. I want to get the understanding from you. What are the issues? Then what they call court, and then a court kind.
My enemy does it. And I did can crown my memfa and share PCA and my Yahrefu na me no ma se de biada omojebre ehwe we fidikesi so so obehwa ifri enra court today na temu hunsem atudwa no enya dia Exton Cubic yakasa as in I being the communication officer or managing director, none of our officers. Things that it was only after the court proceedings in a lawyer granted just quick 2-3 minutes interview with the media houses who were there. And Okrompono, he didn't talk on the substance of the case. Because now, the say, your my gun and puntuntia. How ye be see a boa, na gudia odomanko nyankopon e de adom nyina hini man e wo nyina hini no Ghana company enye Bruni company but Ghana company Ghana for ebetimi aboame etu agudie no yede aye integrated aluminium industry aboa ko create over 20,000 jobs amanyina hini man asante man ene Ghana for nyina. So we were not looking at it as a victory for Exton Cubic. It was a victory for Ghana. It was a victory of democracy. So we decided say enya dia yebeka ho asem na yebejai ama swafo no ene aban penyufo ene mampenyi ahwe sisi ya de court aka no na yahwa na mo betu efa kwan a yebetimi afa so atena na yesiesi asem no na dwumadi netimi akoso
because makodi gugu na maba na
me patcho debi mamwati as I said we won but it is clear and never
but on
Ghanaian Times this is a buying newspaper also court quashes withdrawal of Exton Cubic mining license so I'm surprised and we were actually surprised rather no you had the Deputy Attorney General and other social media communicators of the MPP going on Facebook and on many media platforms to spin the court judgment and to create an impression we say you lose BB. Clearly that is not
but
true.
Rectification
that is not true. So let me in summary summarize what happened na man for Atiasiye but fortunately for me maybe I no producer mami who say topics now. So I brought the court judgment. DNA the courts. Minua ye nyina ye Ghana ha na ye te Exton Cubic any nyina hini bauxite won sensem. Tweka ni dede ni nyina kosi se
meba ba menka mahwefo se ye hwe nim se demnyam for Collins osu amankwa so baba be kan sa e wa anu se na ye nkomo no ya to aso
yeah nti dede ne tweka na ekoso ni nyina no se ye we nkrata man ho kwan se etimi ye prospecting ya prospecting ye wie ye we mining lease ye train parliamentary ratification se na be ye kan sansem ni nyina chirichiri mu mfiti ase aban swafo hwe omayinsa se wonsem ne agudie wonsem so honorable Peter Mewu Babonte be ka se ye won krata ewi achiro mu se ye ni enkrata ni nyina ko wie se aban swafo eye honorable Peter Mewu Minister for Lands and Natural Resources etwere krata bre on the 4th of September 2017 say ye 3 mining leases no ye ni aban wo for kire ya so bauxite deposit impasa so bauxite deposit ene chichire no we twani nyina mu wa revoke o mine say what say asem ha so that revocation e ba bonten so ma gye mining lease free ensa no eno ne man nsem twofo ne Ghana for te say enye mra kwan so a entwe yie enye sa na Ghana mra kire say uni obi wo lease a utumi sore da ba akope and just by a stroke of a pen usi metwem ye chirichiri mu Ghana fo nyina ate ase edi nti a ye free say entwe yie nti ye de asem no kodom court ye call court for a lawyer for friend judicial review. Talk of Article 141 of the 1992 Constitution. High Court supervisory jurisdiction over all administrative bodies, administrative heads, ministers. Now under judicial review, ye wo adie bia ye friend of seshurarai. Is what is seshurarai? Seshurarai ne say aban officer be an administrative body be. Etu anamon bi omu si ejina ye bi omu take action bi in this case revoking our leases no na say ya dwemu ye free say ye ntenchia ye de potoka sem ye frɛ no an unreasonable decision, an unfair decision or an unjust decision a breach of natural justice ye ntie wasem and a unreasonable enimu wo mremu ene mrabo abura ye illegal why ya take say decision na tia no ye mra pon no ne Ghana mra ma ho kwan say utimi ko high court now ko apply for order of shishurarai say court no de be ma now what they akwashe that illegal or unlawful decision by the minister in this case or that administrative body. That was the case which went to court. Case court had nothing to do with the processes which led to our lease or ratification. No, the issue they say the revocation, the purported revocation of our mining leases by the minister, was that proper in law or not? Did the minister exceed his powers or not? No, to me, so yes, and no need to me. Of Amrakwanso and our Famrakwanso, I know the damn court. And no kind of court judgment now. That was the issue before the court. And a court, eti e yen sem nyina no court na bua okɔhwɛ the holding of a case abisa lawyer bi obeka cho say case judgment bi an e 3 portions. There's the facts and you can talk about the issues aseme da court na nima court na hwɛ. Then you talk about the decision of the court, which is called the holding of the court, and you see the ratio, which is the reasoning behind that decision. And then you can look at the obiter, na judge for the anchor judgment. What do I say? Now in this case, over the concluding part of the judgment now, the mama copy, you can look at it on page 43, the last paragraph. The title is holding stroke conclusion. Not just a court, and this is the final conclusion till the court in the kind. Or see overall, I am satisfied that the applicant, which is Exton Cubic, has succeeded in making a case which calls into question the letter uttered by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources dated September 4, 2017. Letter not be revoked leases. And for the letter to be brought into this court to be quashed, it is hereby quashed accordingly. So what I say. So clearly, this was the decision of the court. The chair said what we went to court for, the order of Seshurara and I cause a court to making fan question, we got it. So we won the case. It is settled. What I say. Now, people are trying to obfuscate the issues. Na who be here say ye be chirim. Utia. Almost court no can cry say Exton Cubic ni mineral right. I've seen some MPP communicators writing on Facebook. Godfrey Damis what can be. Say Exton Cubic for ni mineral right. I'm say now we so free him beto. Exton Cubic ni mineral right. News. Why na ejina baby aka that say Exton Cubic mineral right? Because on mine, I spoke to you on Asempa and here on countless occasions about this issue. That Ben Yeka say you were mining right. Asama Yaka Yinane say you follow due process to a certain point. On mine, what you say. You started with exploration, you be prospecting, you free prospecting, you baba benya mining lease. You magana for kratia say adia aka ye nya ye say you mining lease na ye nya no ebe kom rashe bedwam. Now, your friend ratification in line with Article 268, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution. And mineral right. It is a court to say you need mineral right. It confirms the position we hold. Now, let's demystify this thing about mineral rights because what we mean by mineral right. What the Constitution and the laws of Ghana can say, Section 54 of the Minerals Mining Act, Act 703. Article 268, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution say, and sana obenya mineral right, I was say unya mining lease a parliament for ratification. The mineral rights na ye wu interest I wo agudie na ehya asase ni mu na e ma ho kwan say utimi tu agudie ni free form. That is the mineral right. So what you say? Enti until say mrahye bebiafo begye atumu no even imramu no uni ho kwan say ukutu agudie no. And son of Benya sa minor rights with me kutu agudie no. I say mrahye bebiafo agye to which we have always considered. But adia ya can say ye de you fulfill your side of the bargain. You go through all the processes to get a lease because of mine in the first place. If you don't have a lease, what will you take to parliament for parliamentarians to ratify? Can you ratify nothing? What's the question I say? You must ratify something. So first of all, you need the lease before you go for ratification. Now, so it means that getting the lease is not unlawful because you need it before you can go and ratify. That's number one. Number two, when you lease ni we are when I said yes or the come mrahye bedwam. Say mrahye bedwam for begye to the friend ratification. In the lease there are two parties, the leasee and the leaseor. The leaseor being government, the leasee being Exton Cubic. Why there was asset the and so the come mrahye bedwam. O mine is it not government? When you feel Ghana when that private company asori asesa na nkrata akom mrahye bedwam say many aban will lease into mrahye bedwam for ratify my. It is a ratify lease now. Why not? Or what's our sudie ni so yes adwuma na wonye e Ghana ban e Ghana aswafo the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources through the Attorney General and there was a making sure say lease ni be come ra she bedwam na mra she bedwafo agi atum omonye ye ninti no ye kita ye lease aye de ye tewo ye no musuo twa won pese omo be ye na ma ye nya mining right to go and mine. But judge ne kan okohwe paragraph 115 of the judgment na. Or say even though say as at now 115 as a matter of fact no that's page 42.
I am not convinced. I am not convinced that the applicant was given a hearing.
Yes, before the minister made the impugned decision.
I am not convinced that the applicant was given a hearing before the minister made the impugned decision. Therefore, I have no difficulty in holding that the respondent fell into error in not giving hearing to the applicant. Again, I will add that even if the statute was not complied with,
even if
the statute was not
so conditional, one can say we did not comply. Even if
the statute
not even
was
do
not complied.
Let's take our time. This is language. Also, one can say even though the statute, or say even if it was not, because I will show you say as a man for can say court ni bua say you comply with statute and you're not correct.
That's what I'm coming.
Now I will show you. So you read it, but there is something I want to show. Say again, I would add that even if the statute was not complied with, the applicant by signing the lease, Exton Cubic is the applicant here. By signing the lease, acquired a vested right and therefore ought to have been heard. What is a vested right? People are claiming an impression, say court to see any shade. The Deputy Attorney General said, we've got nothing. The court says we have a vested right. Because we've gone through the processes. And through the processes, now, our rights have accrued to a certain point. The only thing stopping us from mining now is that government has failed to complete its obligation by submitting the lease to Parliament for ratification. And how can we be blamed for that? And because of that, we have not gone ahead to mine. We time and only say and we will come there. Excavator and two bauxite. Say you see two bauxite out. Come we see the surface mine is sophisticated machines. We are not ready to mine. Corner near Kohono was because the Minerals Commission for my crata say Yenko CC Biaho, no Muntimim visit. So it was the containers you saw on the castle, was for site camps, no offices. So yet we've never claimed that we have a mining right or we are attempting to mine nothing. Yes, say we've gone through all the processes right now. No, the concession is in our name. We have the lease to it. All what is left is parliamentary ratification, which will entitle us to mine, and the court has confirmed that. But the court, in confirming that, has made the point that we have a vested right, and unti and also minister need to me so So what you say? So that is the second issue. Now the third issue, Mate, and the Deputy Attorney General say, and court no go no say, ye list, it's yamra, we didn't follow statutes. It is very sad. Oh, say. People would deliberately churn out falsehood, deception, and distortions of the fact. It is very unfortunate. The issue before the courts was not whether or not to say Exton Cubic lease there or you follow Mrana and court Nankasa Kai. And I'm coming to read that to you now. Now, what's procedure? And a court and they say, young follow. What procedure? We are court judgment now. Courts and they say, so we emra eda mining lease one. So private company be apply say up a mining lease or apply ko Minerals Commission. Now Minerals Commission when application krata semnimu. Nan krata ni dim application ni dima. Minerals Commission for na experts technical men. No more the recommendation I come minister for lands and natural resources. Na minister no am approve as a me ma lease. Only the minister and the one who comes on my lease. That is the law, that is the process. And we accept. And in fact the judge said that. Maybe I will read that to you. So what you say. Now judge and say in our case, that process was not adhered to. Process and they say was say a Minerals Commission, na Minerals Commission a recommendation a minister, na minister mum am lease. And sana wakwa wo contract and wakwa kutia sika for the mineral rights. In this case, in our case, judge and say Echo Minerals Commission. In Senka Minerals Commission for Ebema recommendation yakoma minister. Ama minister ajia tu ansana omama yekwansi emitu esikano. Minerals Commission for anyesa. Minerals Commission for ehun say application ne yana no mokachire ese yunkutu esika. Ena ye kotu esika na maban. Ansana eko minister ho 28th December. A call and the minister so signed the next day, 30th December. The judge and they say the sequence, and you say I was saying Exton Cubic here bibi or say the sequence was not right. Now that sequence na right, and one arm na right. A private company Exton Cubic. A Minerals Commission, that is what the court is saying in its judgment. Say Minerals Commission for a mistake. Say instead say, and let me just read that to you quickly. That is. Let me just find that portion for you. It is paragraph 101, page 36. It is there. Page 36. I just want your TFU in your better see. Page 36, paragraph 101. Or say the combined effect of these statutory provisions, what kind of statutory provisions govern Kwanya was will be first in your mining lease. I said the combined effect of these statutory provisions is that where a party applies for a mineral right, the commission is required to submit a recommendation to the minister, and he makes the decision to either approve or reject same. But is that what happened based on the materials filed in this case? Exhibit 1 shows that the application was made on or about October 26, 2016. Exhibit 2 shows that on November 10, 2016, the Minerals Commission informed the applicant that it will recommend to the minister to grant the lease, but advised the applicant to pay the required fees.
So the ministry rather advise...
the Minerals Commission
rather advise you guys to go and pay
the money.
But they will do a recommendation
to the minister.
To grant you the
this
lease.
Is what the judge is saying. And says that the offer is open for 60 days from the date of the letter. The applicant went ahead to make the payments. We have gone ahead to pay for all the mineral rights. Yes. The applicant went ahead to make the payment. The applicant went ahead to make the payment on December 12, 2016. Consequently, by Exhibit 4, the dated December 28, 2016, recommended to the minister to grant the application a 22-year mining lease and accordingly attached 3 mining leases for the minister's signature. The minister signed the leases the next day.
That was based on recommendation?
Yes. Clearly, based on the law as stated above and a thorough review of the materials filed, I have no hesitation in concluding that the Minerals Commission, not Exton Cubic, Minerals Commission, had no authority to offer the applicant the leases and requested to make the payment before the recommendation. So before the recommendation. So he's talking about sequence here. And even that he's blaming it on the Minerals Commission, not Exton Cubic. Minerals Commission stands for government. They should understand that. So what's the point I'm trying to say? In any case, judge in a way, you know, go to paragraph 107. Judge in a way, you know. And I say, but in some way, I can't wait in a processes in a home. The Minerals Commission, why in a year? I was saying, Omama minister no G2, and then Omama Exton Cubic before could you seek no. Omama Exton Cubic before 2 years seek and then Omodeko minister, Wama minister could jatu. So I say. And so make maka win in area, you know, or city. Now, despite the opinion expressed above on the list, despite maybe opinion, we know. Yes. Sir, the procedure and the sequence.
Okay, quickly, Mamma Deputy Attorney.
Oh, if I could just conclude this,
no, I beg you. Only break. Here I go, Fedami. Good morning. Apom to say.
I was over now, sir.
Adom Pacho Boko. Well, quickly, yeah, the FSC, the Acoso and Nada was in Libya, FR and the Exton Cubic, and Pensenpensenmu. A dear potty, and a walk court, and a dear potty, and Nada, a team will buy an Ekasafa.
Well, Exton Cubic, yeah, we revoked your mining lease now. In September 2017, normal filing action challenging the revocation of it. No, normal content is that well, they have a valid mining lease. They procured it in accordance with the law and what have you, and therefore they sought various orders from the court. I think they sought about 7 orders or so from the court. 7 orders included, apart from the request to quash the letter written by John Peter Merwin, they also sought for an injunction to restrain the government of Ghana from interfering with their rights acquired by virtue of the leases. They also sought an order of injunction restraining the respondent, that's them, that's Ghana, I'm sorry, government of Ghana, to prevent the, to restrain the government of Ghana from granting the rights acquired by them in terms of the lease. And then they also sought a declaration saying the revocation was unreasonable and that their leases were properly granted and all. So, the court determined the matter, and most importantly, they held that one, the processes leading to the grant of the lease to them did not comply with the law. The court also held that the Minerals Commission had no authority to convey the lease to Exton Cubic. And then finally, on the question that they had the mineral rights now, the court held that no, they have no mineral rights whatsoever. And then, of course, regarding the relief that they sought, the court granted only one relief out of the about 7 reliefs or so that they sought. The one relief that they sought, that they granted, the court granted, was only in relation to question John Peter Amewu's letter. And the court quashed Peter Amewu's letter because, according to the judge, Peter Amewu is not a judge, is not a court to do what the judge termed adjudicatory functions.
I see, but
all the reliefs were dismissed.
But ordinarily, the Americans a buying any Exton Cubic for pre-hone say name minister control cratabi, Sakatana, what you're say, and crata Exton Cubic, the Jumenano, and your papa, Exton Cubic, is your one crata, papa, Sakatano, Anna, any court, a question and a sanity.
Chatano, yes, letter written, Chatano, in the question. Now, the reason why our questions I will say, Judge Exton Cubic, sorry, the minister is not a court, on a court, and therefore need to be so with me. I can't say we are lawful as we are lawful. Indeed, what the minister couldn't do, the judge did it. The judge declared it as unlawful. The judge declared the leases held by them as not in compliance with the law, and also that they have no mineral rights. The court declared that. Until the minister into me, that's the answer, essentially.
All right, but
and so the question to ask if our Exton Cubic is after this ruling, what can they do?
Okay.
Insofar as the mineral right is concerned.
Okay, Deputy Attorney General,
and they cannot do anything at all because the lease has been held not to be in compliance with the law. The lease has also been held as not sufficient to convey any mineral right. So now with this judgment, they can't do anything at all. They have no right. I think that they are even in a worse position than they were previously because the court more or less has upheld the submission of the Attorney General that they have no mineral right and that they have no valid lease.
Okay, Governor, where the Wadaroma, Messer, we need the communications director for Exton Cubic. So, I say,
sorry.
Communications director for Exton Cubic, you see, minute back or Peso Busa Sam Kakra.
Okay, right, all right.
Yeah, all I wanted to ask him about Deputy AG say the court judgment and the court made a declaration, say young comply with statutes.
So the question.
And you see, I want to find out whether he has read paragraph 107 on page 39 of the ruling.
107.
And for the benefit of listeners, please indulge me. I'm in Potokakran. I'm reading paragraph 107.
Okay.
Judge, all these issues about the sequence of the procedure now, or see Minerals Commission for one follow. Medical actually say Minerals Commission for was senka. Or recommendation, my minister granted lease, and some of my yet and Minerals Commission jumped the gun. They didn't do that, and the fault is not coming from Exton Cubic, but Minerals Commission, which is a state institution and therefore government. This is what the judge said in paragraph 107. Say now, despite the opinion expressed above on the lease and the lack of parliamentary ratification, it is important to reiterate that, insofar as the instant application is concerned, it is not the legality or otherwise of the minister's letter being Exhibit E1, which is at stake, and not as indicated above, the collateral question, which is the process that led to the signing of the mining leases. I am not called upon to pronounce judgment on how the lease was acquired in this application. The jurisdiction of this court in this matter is controlled by the nature by which it was invoked, which is by a judicial review and not a writ of summons or appeal. Under the latter two options, the circumstances of the acquisition will be properly investigated in a merit-based review where all the actors, including the former Minister of Lands and Natural Resources and officials of the Minerals Commission, could be heard. This is because even if my view is that the right thing was not done, I cannot impose my view without hearing from those who participated in the process in the instant application. Okay. My question is, having read paragraph 107, how can somebody say that the comments the judge made about whether in his opinion the processes were followed or not by the Minerals Commission, not Exton Cubic, amount to a declaration or a holding in this court ruling? Okay. It was not part of the court's decision. These were things that the court described as collateral issues. Okay. Those issues were not even before the court. And the judge has said, and the judge has said, lawyer, and the judge has said, yes, even though said to me, the statutory process was not followed. No, mean to me, Exton Cubic for and Minerals Commission and Lands Minister for. I just say metio munina numasem. Na se metio munina numasem ye yenhwehwemu and sana court betimi aka say yan follow process. So the court has not said that paragraph 107 is there. Why are they
Deputy Attorney General Adom, is that the case?
Hello.
The patron metio.
The whole of the judgment, so which is about 115 paragraphs, no. For 119 paragraphs, the whole of the judgment, 120 paragraphs, clearly. Is it only one paragraph that Exton Cubic rely on to claim victory? And I think that if you're a company who asserts a mineral right, the question is, I'm sorry, is 3 hours sometimes.
No problem.
Yeah,
no problem.
I don't know why, naturally, when it comes to here, I'm unable to speak to you.
No problem.
So the question to ask, this is for a company who feels aggrieved by a revocation of your mining lease, is that after this judgment, can you assert any right at all, anywhere? Can you go onto the land with this judgment? That's the question you should ask yourself. And I'm saying that in all the judgment, 120 paragraphs in all, you cannot rely on just one paragraph to say, that issue was not determined. If that issue was not determined, it means you yourself, you have nothing. You understand?
Okay.
And the most important thing is that if you look at the holdings of the courts, they are contained from pages 35 to 43, i.e. from paragraphs 98 all the way to 120. And so the holdings were in two parts. First, the judge took about 6 pages to determine the validity otherwise of the grant to money to Exton Cubic. And indeed, the judge held, if I may just go straight from paragraph 30, from page 36 up to 37, is that page, that's paragraph 101. It had clearly, based on the law as stated above and a thorough review of the materials found, I have no hesitation in concluding that the Minerals Commission has no authority to offer the applicant the leases and requested to make payment before the recommendation. It's a prerogative of the minister to offer the leases and not the commission. It's also clear that the statutory timelines were not complied with in this case. Then he goes ahead to say, I do not understand legal counsel for the applicant to argue that the lease is ratified by Parliament. The applicant concedes that there is no parliamentary ratification, but argues that it cannot be the basis for the invalidation of the leases because the respondent is the one who is to place him before Parliament for ratification and not the applicant. And so, to my mind, without a parliamentary ratification, the applicant cannot be said to have a mineral right based on the wording of the lease and the constitutional provision and case law. That is not the end of it. It goes again to say at page 38. Taking cognizance of the fact that the constitutional provision uses the word shall, it is tribe-led that it is imperative and not optional. It is beyond dispute or argument that
the phrase subject to ratification
the subject of judicial consideration by the Supreme Court. The Apex Court has interpreted a similar provision in the Constitution in regards to failure to comply with the constitutional provision for parliamentary ratification and concluded that such failure is fatal and creates no rights. Therefore, same can be adopted with mutatis mutandis. Of the foregoing analysis and based on law, and based on the law, I hold the respectful opinion that the applicant does not have a mineral right as required by law. Indeed, if Exton Cubic wants to ignore this ruling, it's up to them. If they want to ignore the express terms of this ruling, then with all respect, that would be very, very irresponsible.
Okay, but
and the question you should ask is that now, so this morning, can they go anywhere and say that they have a mineral right?
Well, maybe
can they go and say that the processes resulting in the lease granted to them were valid?
Okay.
There has been a determination by a court of law, and this determination is categorical and clear. The minister's revocation letter was quashed on the basis that the minister is not a court of law, and that's not his executive powers.
Now,
the person who before is a court and has executive powers. And with close with those executive powers, has also made the determination, the findings that based on all the materials and filed and whatever, he had no hesitation whatsoever to hold that Exton Cubic has no mineral right and that the process was to fought with illegality.
Okay.
So this whole propaganda that is being spent is akin to the ruling that was given by Judge when the main issue, the issue before the court, before the commission had been determined in favor of Kino, but then the NDC chose to rely on a small portion. And you see, that's what's happening this morning. They rely on just one paragraph of the ruling.
Okay.
One paragraph out of 180 paragraphs.
Okay, Adom, probably to make
and I'm saying that we should look at it totally. Yes, I agree.
Okay.
You can't hear that Ameru's letter had no basis because Ameru is not a court. That's fine. But the same court, which is called as Green Paris, has made these categorical findings. And I'm saying that it will be very responsible and it will be very bad for good governance for the clear findings of the court to be ignored. And it cannot be ignored.
Okay, but
ask them this morning. So can they say they have any rights flowing from the list that they hold?
Okay, but respectfully, but can they?
Let's just three quick issues.
Hello, pardon me.
Pacho, just three questions from the communications director.
The first one. Lawyers say we are ignoring the issues which were before the court. Please.
No, who is ignoring the issues?
Exton Cubic and the key findings.
You are ignoring.
We are ignoring the key findings of the court. So they are saying, and that the Nyamana Wakai say Judge Neka said we didn't follow statute. We are ignoring it, and so the air canal were not the key issues. On page 34, paragraph 96 and 97, the court set out the issues for determination in the case. Lawyer knows that the case which went to the High Court under Order 55 was all about judicial review and, for that matter, an application for an order of certiorari. The case which was before the court, Judge Naka in paragraph 107, or say, what am I called to determine? I say, now, despite the opinion expressed above, the lawyer can't need no. I said, despite that opinion, and the lack of parliamentary ratification, a lawyer, I said, despite that. It is important to reiterate.
That's what you think.
It is important to reiterate, Judge, that it is, please, that insofar as the instant application is concerned, it is not the legality or otherwise of the minister's letter being as, it is the legality or otherwise of the minister's letter being Exhibit E1, which is at stake, and not, why not on the crowd board, as indicated above, the collateral issues of ratification and those things, which is the process that led to the signing of the mining leases. I am not called upon to pronounce judgment on how the lease was acquired in this application. He says he was not called upon to pronounce judgment. Okay, now you are saying he pronounced judgment. That is number one. Lawyer say, let me finish it. Let me finish before he comes in. Let me finish it before he. So the court did not pronounce judgment. That's number one. And in fact, I've read to you where the judge said in the court case, I am not pronouncing judgment. I was saying so the can inimusa and number two, I say, can we go? What do we have? Now again, with the judgment you can't. In any case, before, during this case, Exton Cubic, say that issue is moot because we have always insisted, our lease is subject to parliamentary ratification as provided under Article 268 Clause 1 and Section 54 of Act 703. We have always made that point. And so that is why we have always insisted that we've never made an attempt to mine, and we will never, as law-abiding citizens or as a law-abiding company, make an attempt to mine until government his office, the office of the Attorney General, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, fulfills their obligation of submitting the list to Parliament for ratification.
But
we have said that.
But list Nankasa what challenges?
Say
list Nankasa what the challenges?
The challenges. Mama in what is the challenge?
Okay.
The challenge, as explained by him and as I've read to you, Mr. Judge say, I was say a by institution Minerals Commission for your application come on. I was saying Kaomo, any recommendation come minister. Emma Minister G2 and son of Mama Yakwansi Unko to Esika.
You're doing an interview.
Now, this is it. What the court said was that, are you following?
Go.
What the court said was that Minerals Commission, Godfred Odame na lawyer because he's the lawyer for government. They all represent the state. Or say Minerals Commission, a busa sequence. So Minerals Commission for a catch the innocent private company say you go to Esika buying. And some of the recommendation come minister. But the bottom line is that the minister approved and asked him whether that mere statutory infraction, he's a lawyer, he knows, has the potency of rendering a lease void for illegality.
Okay,
and the court has not made any such pronouncement.
Okay,
so my conclusion on this matter is that the case we took to court was an application for an order of certiorari. Say ministerial revocation order no. Etiamra a breaching the rules of natural justice any foundation in law. Judge not jail to that is why the letter has been quashed. And what that therefore means is that as we speak now we have leases. And paragraph 115 of the ruling is saying that by virtue of the fact that we have a lease with government, we have a vested right. Okay. And I want him to address that, whether we have a vested right or not. So you can't say we are left with nothing.
Wrap up my
Hello?
Wrap up my yeah.
But I'm very surprised to say mere statutory infractions on their part. So now they agree that there were statutory infractions.
Not on
how can you categorize the statutory infractions as mere statutory infractions?
But he or ascribe that to the Minerals Commission, not to Exton Cubic.
And the court has not even pronounced judgment on
they themselves trace their alleged rights to a statute. They have under the Minerals and Mining Act. And if you have gone to court and the court has ruled that there were infractions or violations of the Minerals and Mining Act, which resulted in the grant of a lease to you, I think that your lease is invalid. It's totally invalid. And what the judge said clearly was that Amewu had no power to declare it as invalid because Amewu is not a court. And the same judge, the same court, in doing so, has done what Amewu couldn't do. So as far as I'm concerned, what Amewu couldn't do, the judge has done it.
Okay.
But the judge said clearly, I mean, if I may just quote from page 35, the fundamental issue dovetails the other issues such as the thorny issue as to whether or not there were non-compliance with statute and whether or not the applicant has a mineral mining right. I shall therefore address the arguments made before considering the main issue. The case we look at the materials for and in particular that limits the position and the exhibits 152 prima facie that the application is the signing of the lease did not comply with the statute, even though the applicant vehemently denies him. So the same thing that they are doing this morning, the court has ruled upon it. The court said that the applicant vehemently denies that their lease comply with the statute. This morning he's doing the same thing. He's vehemently denying that their lease comply with the statute. The judge has said that there is no denying the fact that the sign of the lease did not comply with the statute. And it's not just a mere one sentence that the judge gave in his ruling. He went ahead and analyzed it categorically.
All right.
And I'm saying that, I mean, as far as you are concerned, this determination having been made by a court of law, we are bound by it. Exton Cubic is also bound by it, and no right flow from it. You can only submit to Parliament what is lawful. He's saying that they are waiting the government to submit the list to Parliament. But how can that be possible? How can we submit a list which has been held to be fought with statutory violations and statutory infractions to Parliament? We cannot submit an unlawful list to Parliament.
Okay.
So if they lie, they should request the government to submit it to Parliament. And then we'll reply in that manner. Right. So what they have, yes. And the judge was very clear in saying that there must be a distinction between a lease, a valid mineral right, and a lease which has been signed. Okay. So what you have is something that has been signed. Whatever it is, nobody knows. It says they have a vested right. The court was categorical and clear that they have no mineral rights. So whatever vested right they have, they should define it for me.
All right.
But the court cannot say that you don't have a mineral right, and at the same time say that you have a vested mineral right.
Yeah,
so perhaps it's something else. So they should figure that one out.
Okay.
So I think the judgment presents a lot of problems for them. Let them try and read the judgment very well. Perhaps they have not adequately taken time to consider the true import and terms of it. They should take time to study it clearly, and they'll see that they cannot assert any right whatsoever from this judgment. Nothing flows from this judgment to them.
Okay. Deputy Attorney General.
Let me ask him something so.
It's not just one relief that they sought. They sought 7 reliefs, and only one was granted. The court dismissed, most importantly, an order of injunction to restrain government from interfering with their rights, because they have no right.
Okay. Let me ask him my final question.
That's why the court dismissed that.
My final question.
The court also dismissed the request by them to prevent us from granting the rights acquired by them to any other person.
Please.
The court dismissed it. So as it is now, the court there's nothing restraining us from conveying any other person.
Okay.
And if a
I'll
person
ask
comes
3
and
final
follows the
questions.
law,
Because I don't want this discussion to be a debate of I believe that viewers are discerning. They have listened to all the arguments and they will make a decision. But this is what I want to ask him. Honorable, there is a Chinese company called Bosai Mining Group, mining Ghana's bauxite. Chinese company mining Ghana's bauxite.
Let's not go into that.
No,
let's not go there.
It is important. The question is, China for no mutu our bauxite. Will lease receive parliamentary ratification. Number 1. Number 2, lawyer and sema all can be private local company. Boneben yedia ya banya anytime be. Look at what the judge said about anytime. And yamina make a judge no address and sema lawyer for court koketiaye and President Mahama I say this is what the judge had to say. Or say the Supreme Court established that lawyers owe it as a duty to assist the court in maintaining that litigation is conducted in a civil manner devoid of indecent attacks on opponents or parties to the litigation, and to project the profession as the most honorable one. Ironically, such innuendo could fuel the applicants' Exton Cubic suspicions that the cancellations of its leases was an act of vindictiveness.
Was that what transpired?
This is what the court ruled. Okay. And finally, as Attorney General, Ghana for including Ghanaian businesses, is it not interesting that they don't even care, say, private company? Ye share the cars ni fidie or lorry kwanso. Ya impoundo cars ni be sitting 5-6 months. Ye mchire krata bi amano. Ye mfa ne court. Ye nka hwenchire no. The machines are still there and the private company is losing money. And you come and tell us that you want to support Ghanaian businesses, and you want to you come and tell us that you want investors to come into this country.
Matter altogether.
Even Chinese are mining.
Hold on.
The judgment of the court in the mining. I will not. Hold on. I'm wrapping up.
Hold on.
But the facts are clear.
I'm saying hold on. Deputy Attorney General. Those are other matters probably that needs to be addressed.
They are important matters.
Hold on, Pacho.
Very important.
In the first place, it is not true say regarding the seizure of the equipment, they've not sent the government of Ghana to court. In fact, just about 2 weeks ago, my attention was drawn to the pendency of a suit at Kumasi High Court regarding the seizure of the equipment. And in my view, the seizure of the equipment, I'll tell him, I am a very straightforward person, very transparent. I do not play unnecessary games. I'm not one of those lawyers who dabble in dishonesty and what have you. I think that clearly the seizure of the equipment, perhaps, it was uncalled for, and indeed, I will not hesitate at all to sanction.
6 months.
Hold on. He's admitted it's uncalled for. Yeah.
I think initially the equipment were seized because of the statutory violations regarding the lease. Which the court has agreed us with on that the lease itself had statutory infractions and law. And now, so it was totally lost for me that it's still there. It was in Kumasi. I didn't know it was, but now we've informed that it's still seized. I have no intention at all in ordering a release of it. And clearly, I'll do that quickly.
We are losing money.
But that's one. And then again, too, you made the point whether we are not concerned by a private company. What I'm concerned about
Ghanaian private company.
Yes, Ghanaian. It does not matter whether it's Ghanaian or foreign. It's all company.
But it matters,
Ghanaian
especially when the Ghanaian interest
with the law. Ghanaians,
of course,
citizens of Ghana owe it.
Probably holding the boy kakra.
But can I just make the point quite clearly?
All right. Okay.
Citizens of Ghana owe it a duty to comply with the law. In fact, they owe a more paramount duty, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
For the citizens of Ghana, the laws are made by the Parliament of Ghana, and therefore you ought to respect it. And I think that is totally, it's uncalled for a company which we all know is owned by a brother of the president. Two, under circumstances which clearly suggest a violation of the law. It's not just a suggestion. The court has actually made a pronouncement on it that there were violations of the law regarding the gun release. Four, such a company is awarded a money lease over 79% to the nation's known bauxite resources. Indeed, if you look at the line which was signed, it was signed just a week before they were handing over. And in any serious country, this not happen. That a company owned by the brother of the president will acquire money lease regarding 79% of nation's bauxite resources, and that same company will be in violation of the law, and they will have the temerity to go to court and try and claim a criminal right. I mean, it's so foul, if you ask me. I mean, it's so foul. And if I were them, but I would have given up any claims at all to the bauxite.
All right.
Your own brother is the president under suspicious circumstances, under unlawful circumstances, I may say, because the court has said clearly now that there are violations of the statute, has obtained a lease regarding almost 80% of the nation's bauxite resources, and then you go to court and defend it. How?
Okay.
Where in the world would this happen? It's only in Ghana.
But
like I have such.
Yeah, Dami, probably ordinarily when you also read that, the issue that I am beginning to find here is the 107, the main issue, when the judge still make a reference to, despite the opinion expressed on these matters that you have raised, on the illegality or otherwise of the leases, no. But it comes here that until probably ministers meet and minerals commissions are meeting, and then that is where the determinant of the merit of whether the lease was done or went through a due process or otherwise could be determined. So I'm a bit confused that after all what the judge has said, he comes to 107 to say that despite the opinion expressed by blah, 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 blah. But we'll take it another time. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time. Deputy Attorney General Godfrey Dame, but
let me just wrap up.
And then,
okay.
Yeah. But I'll say our Friday special also, also, and then Abekati Konto.
You know, Miraho.
No, Ebertia, wrap up for us.
Mrs. Waffin. And then I mean, say, me come visit the State of the Nation address.
Well, Era Collins also, I don't know why you didn't show up.
And so, in fairness to him, trying on the political issue, let me just wrap up.
Just wrap up, Ebertia.
You see, and the principal legal advisor, the deputy principal legal advisor to Ghana, a buying lawyer penny on only two a buying for about a mrana bediachiri. Onimi mrase yemfidie na omoje no what is the description abisi ne that's all o say e uncalled for mfidie na minister say maje mo pa mo meje made DCC maje mo pa mo meje made mo otumi a mo meje no and na ban lawyer penyo no ni tu aban fo fa mrase mo say entwe yiti amra o man me pacho wait let me I'm just wrapping up now. Are we just leaving it at saying, say, it is uncalled for private business?
No, that is not the case.
Company,
you follow that.
For 6 months, the machines are still there.
That is not our responsibility. It is
your
responsibility.
I'm not saying it is not your responsibility. It's the responsibility of government. Sir, if the principal legal advisor to government says government's action is uncalled for, I don't think that 6 months, your machines in that to see what they are.
Okay.
Machines, and you don't want us to talk about that? Or say brother of the president. And yes, our brother of the president, you know, and no more kind of courts. And my judge in the can say, Sansam na mokano, men so sumpo because I quote the judge. Or say a political emotions, or say emotive innuendos. Yes, men find you. In any case, company near limited.